been a challenging, it's been a day. It's been a day. So, yeah, so took me a minute to get here, had some technical difficulties, having some body difficulties, just all around getting a little smacked around by the world the past little bit, but I am here and I'm happy to be with you, and I hope that you don't mind. I'm a little bit late, but don't worry, we are going to get a great workout. This is one that's actually a little shorter on the clock, so as long as I keep my chit-chat to a minimum, we should still be done about the same time as always. So I hope you guys had a great time off. I hope you visited my YouTube page, subscribed, and found some oldies but goodies to do over this past week. So thank you for giving me the grace to have some time off. I did really enjoy it, and contrary to what my body's telling me today, I had some great experiences doing yoga for a week. I've practiced for years. I've never taken a whole week to commit to it every single day, and I did last week, and it was awesome. So always grateful for that opportunity to connect more to my practice and focus on some restoration, even though, again, my body rebelled horribly on me just a little bit ago, but here we are. So, guys, we are going to be doing a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 legs and booty boot camp. So, this is an oldie. This is one of the very first workouts I did with you guys, so just kind of a redo, reboot, change stuff a little bit, but not too much. So if you did it with me, you may remember, but goodness gracious, if you remember a workout from like mid-March, I'm totally impressed. So what you're going to need today is 1 to 2 heavy hand weights. And actually, let me start by saying that hand weights are completely optional. There's really only one exercise where I'm going to say you really will want some hand weights. Everywhere else is going to just be an option. So depending on how I keep kind of rocking and rolling with my body today, I may be doing some weights, I may not. We'll just see how it goes. So 1 to 2 heavy hand weights. You're going to want a resistance band. So again, that's going to be your circular band like so. Or if you have one of these cool cloth bands, that is definitely an option as well. This is just going to be your much, much more challenging option versus one of these guys. But what these do offer you is a great amount of stability and no rolling like those pantyhose tendencies that these guys have. So resistance band, if you have it, again, this is optional too. Really, everything I'm telling you is optional. You can get a great workout with no equipment at all today. And then last couple things, you're going to want your yoga mat or your floor support, because we will be getting in the floor a little bit today. And you want to have a flat, uncluttered wall, just enough space for you to have a little sit down on it. And the last thing is just some space to move around. I don't really have space to move around because I need to stay on camera. So you can also do what I'm going to recommend where you do have some space without any space at all. So really everything optional. But just real quickly again, 1 to 2 heavy hand weights, 1 resistance band, yoga mat, piece of wall, space to move around. That's what you're working with. So we've got our 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 format. If you haven't done that before, we work for 5 minutes. We take a long-ish break, long in fitness terms being like a minute and a half. So we work for 5 minutes, break, 4, break, 3, break, 2, break, 1, long break. So the breaks get shorter as the amounts of work get shorter. And again, it's legs and booty, so it's all lower body today. We're going to be moving with the timer, not reps, so there's no reps to count. We're just going to listen to the bells and whistles of this timer over here, and that's going to signal us when to move. Because of that, it is a little hectic to start. Nothing I included today is very complicated, again, knowing that we'll be moving fast. So, but it is just a little hectic because you're like, what's next? What's next? And I don't have a whole bunch of time to explain and set it up for you. So it is a little more hectic to start with, but it gets better. You get the hang of it. It's no big deal. Let's see, modify as needed. So of course, we are working legs and lower body. So usually that's going to mean just don't go as low. Adjust, reverse lunge to a back lunge, or forward lunge to a reverse lunge. Just your typical leg modifications. Don't go to the floor if the floor bothers you. Those kind of things. So I'll be mindful of how to help you through that. If you have any questions, of course, shoot me a message. I will still be checking between each round. Our goal is to get through 3 rounds today. So I'll check before we get started, and then between each one, just to see how everybody's doing. As always, no music, and Last couple things, same as always. I'll be checking Facebook for questions. Leave me any comments that you have, any questions. I'll be happy to help. And then as always, please, please, please consider sharing these workouts, sharing my page, or subscribing to my YouTube page. It helps me out a lot. I would love to get this message out that we share through Strong Style Fitness. So fitness being accessible and successful for everyone at every level. We can find a way to get you moving. The way I feel today, I'm impressed that I am standing here. So if I can get moving today, I bet you bottom dollar we can get you moving. And lastly, if you do wish to donate any funds or tips for these classes, it is the only payment that I receive for these classes, so I do truly appreciate it. And my sincerest thanks to all of you that have donated. It really means a lot to me, and it makes it just all the better. It's the icing on the cake for coming out and doing these workouts with you. So Venmo at Strong Style Fit is where you'll find me. All right, guys, so if you were to use weights today, this is kind of the portion where you would use it. There is one exercise coming up, our 3-minute portion, that I'd say you definitely want some weights, but this is sort of the second most likely place where you're going to want weights. We're going to go some heavier. I'll give you just a super quick run through. We're going to do a goblet squat. We're going to do a walking lunge if you have space to walk. If you don't, you can stay with me and I'll show you your options. We're going to do a sumo squat, an alternating curtsy lunge, and a wall sit. 1 minute of each of those. So in most of those exercises, if you do wish to hold a weight, you can hold it here, you can bow tie here, or something like the walking lunge, you can hold weights down by your side. So I'll let you kind of freeform it, see how you feel, what you want to do, and we will get started. So I'm going to check the video, grab a drink, and then I will hit start on our timer. As soon as I hit start, it's going to start. So that's the one thing I encourage you. Whenever we work with a timer, don't wait for me to finish talking for you to start moving. I know the first round you gotta wait a little bit because I'm telling you what to do, but don't wait for me to get a full explanation, a full setup, and then you start moving. You hear that timer go and you know where we're going? Get to work, okay? All right, so the first exercise we're gonna do, just so you can get set up before I come hit the timer and get my drink, goblet squat. We're gonna go wider than hips. Not as wide as the sumo, just a little wider than our hips. Our toes point out. Again, not as wide as the sumo, but a little bit of an angle to them. And then as always, our hips sink back into that big deep chair. We squat down, we come up. Okay? So if you're gonna squat with a weight, you can hold a weight here, or you can hold a weight here, and that's what we're working with. So that's gonna be minute 1. So go ahead and get yourself set up. I'm gonna grab a drink, get our video checked in on. It's beautiful. You probably heard me slurping my drink as I was standing back there. All right, guys, so go ahead and get that goblet squat set up. I'm going to hit start in 3, 2, and 1. There we go. So we didn't hear a timer for that one because it's the first one, but it's going. So goblet squat, we hold weight here if we want it. Wider stance, toes point out, hips set back, and we squat. So I have not done any traditional working out in a week. I've only done yoga, which is not an only by any means, but it's of course very different from this. So if you're anything like me, you've taken a break, just be mindful of your range of motions. Maybe don't pick up the heaviest weight on the shelf just yet until you see how your body's responding. Whew. Sometimes holiday weekends slip up on us. We eat some inflammatory food, drink some inflammatory drinks. So just don't be a harsh judge on your body. Ease into it. You might find you warm up really quickly. Perfect. All right, so we've got walking lunge. If you have room to walk, that's just going to mean that you step out into your lunge, forward, and then just keep walking, right? So if you've got the room, just start walking. If you're like me and don't have a lot of room, you can either step back into a reverse lunge, alternating, or you can step into a forward lunge. Usually for people with knee pain, One or the other feels better. For me, my money's always in the reverse lunge, so that's where I'm gonna be. Again, just if you're walking, make sure that your shin, your knee, your ankle is staying in line as you're walking. Sometimes when we start moving into that lunge, we start getting a little messy in our form. So just do a little check-in as you're walking. Maybe slow that walk down a little bit. Just check out that form as you're walking. All right, we've got sumo squat. This is another good place to pick up a weight. Now we go real wide. We point our toes out, shoulders back, tuck that tail under, straight down. And this is one. I'm sitting at a desk for about 12 hours today that I've got to really ease into. My inner thighs are so tight. Hip flexors from all that sitting, so if you have been too, might feel a little awkward. Just keep working at it. Goal is to try to touch the weight to the ground, but don't do that by bending your chest over. Only if you can get low enough to tap. Good, I can already feel a difference. Kind of tapping the floor now. Perfect. All right. This is one where you may not want a weight. If you do have a weight, probably want to hold it bow tie style. We're going to do alternating curtsy lunge. So just stand towards the middle of your space. We step back into a curtsy like you're a pretty princess. To the middle. Step back again. Very good. So again, just be mindful. My body is definitely like, hey girl, it's been a little bit since we did this stuff. Woo. And so is my balance. I keep looking down at the floor. It's always tricky getting back, even if it's just been a short time, or if you've been working out the whole time, just in different ways. Nice. All right, come up. We've got 1 minute wall sit. So just get on that wall. I like to put my shoulders on the wall, tuck my tail, and then roll my spine down to really make sure I've got my whole spine flat on the wall. And then just sit to whatever depth is comfortable for you. Just make sure you've got your weight back towards your heels. You should be able to wiggle your toes. And then just go to that happy place. And enjoy it. You might feel some shimmy shake in those quads. If you don't, try sinking down just a little bit. Make them say hello. Decompress for a minute, 10 seconds. Take it to yourself. Awesome. All right, come up. We've got 1 minute break, and then we're going to band work. So take this minute to go ahead and put your band on. There we go. So we're going to start with a monster walk. So monster walk, or we can just call them lateral side steps. Monster walk and lateral side steps get kind of used interchangeably, but they're really two different things. I guess depending on who your physical therapist is. So we're going to do side steps. I'm going to try to prop my timer up here so we can see it. There we go. So let's aim for 30 seconds going one direction. So just say stepping to your right, and then 30 seconds just stepping to your left. This might mean that you have to travel all over your space, like I do. That's all right. Just don't mind me. I won't be on camera for a while. So you just want to hold into your squat. Whatever low means for you in your squat, that's where you want to be. And you want to stay there, so don't come up and down like you're squatting. Hold to your lowest point. I'm going to come backwards through, up, All right, guys, switch it, other direction. So just hold to whatever low looks like to you. Squeeze that booty. Open it up. Good. Just make sure that that whole leg is opening. Don't let your foot lead out farther than your leg. Perfect. All right, next 3 exercises are on the floor. We're going to do 1 minute alternating mule kicks. So set up, nice wide starfish fingers, long spine, flex those feet, and we are stamping a hole through that ceiling. So imagine you've got some ink on the bottom of your shoe and you're trying to imprint your shoe's pattern on the ceiling. Keeping both hip points pointed towards the ground. Perfect. I highly recommend not looking over your shoulder. Sometimes we like to look to see where we're going, but that makes your hip do funky things when you do that. Perfect. All right, let's bring it to fire hydrants. All right, so stay in that same position, and we're gonna stick with just our left leg for half the time. We're opening up to the side. Pull my band down just a little bit. Now I've got this super strong band, so my leg isn't coming up super high. You only want to come to about 90 degrees with your hip, if that far. All right, other side. Woo! Man, I'm telling you guys, if you don't feel like you get much out of those rubber bands, give one of these a shot, 10 seconds. And then we're gonna lay to our side, and we're gonna do clamshells. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna lay it sort of an angle, just so I can keep an eye on the timer. So clamshells, we stack our feet in line with our hips. We stand tall through our chest, and we open, squeeze and open. Perfect. All right, spin around. We're going to do the other side. Get stack. Sorry, I'm sticking my booty in the camera. Perfect. So you're squeezing all through that booty cheek to open that leg. Really think about this whole cheek squeezing and engaging, not just the hip. Everything through here. All right, that's our break. You can take the band off. So the next exercise is the place where you will definitely want some hand weights. It's the only exercise where I would say it's pretty much required. Doesn't matter what weight. Usually when we do these, we do a heavier weight. So if you have a heavier option, this is your time to shine with that heavy option. We're going to do some double leg deadlifts. So we're going to have a weight in each hand. We're still on our break. Just coaching you through. We're going to put some bands in our knees. We're going to hold these weights. Iron our pants down. And then squeeze it up to the top. All right. So a little bit of bend in those knees. We set our hips back, back, back. Flat back brings you down. And then we squeeze through that booty to stand. So flat back, weights literally ironing your pants. And then squeeze. This is one I tend to coach to death because it looks so simple that it actually sends us in some bad directions. We make it too simple. It's actually kind of a complicated movement to really get right. So I'm going to try not to coach it to death, Just lead by example. Almost there. We're under 10 seconds. We are going to calf raises next. All right, so I'm going to take a little extra challenge. I'm holding a weight for mine. So calf raises, if you don't have a step to stand on or anything elevated, you can just stand flat, squeeze up to your highest tippy toes, drop your heels down. If you have a step, this is the perfect time. You would pretend this is a step, you would set the balls of your feet on the edge, let your heels drop down, and then really squeeze. That's really the preferred way to do it if you have it, because then that muscle gets nice and elongated when you drop those heels down. And then you have so much further to contract those muscles up. So I just don't have a step I can bring on camera. There's one about 5 feet that direction. So I'm just gonna go this direction. Perfect. All right, let's drop down to the floor. We're gonna do a bridge lift. So you guys know bridge. We go to our back, feet in line with hips. Weight towards the back of those feet. And we push up. Squeeze in that booty to the top. Squeeze. So it's all about the back of that leg, that booty, tight core. It's not about your quads. You shouldn't really be having any activation here. It's all through that back body with just a core support. I'm going to tell you now over here, we're getting a little cardio burst for the 2-minute session. You will hate me. I'm going to do my best with it myself. Boom. All right, let's bring it up. So we're going to do a half burpee, and we're going to do jump squats. So there's a good chance, because of what's going on in my body right now, I'm going to be modifying these half burpees, but I'll at least show you what a few look like, and I'll see if I can keep it going. So that's what we're going to start with, is a half burpee, and then we're going to do squat jumps, or squat hops, or squat heel lifts, or speed squats, whatever you want to do. So a half burpee, you come down, you jump back, and then you jump to the top and lift your hands, and then back down and out. So basically you're omitting the part of the burpee where you stand up, where you jump, and you're just working this lower part. The most advanced version is to have your hands come up as your feet are landing. Yes, it's a long time. Now you're probably all straining to see the timer. Under 10. Woo! All right, we got 1 minute. Squat hops, squat jumps, squat heel lifts, whatever you want to do. So squat hop, we'll just be here. Or a jump. You know what a jump looks like from here. Or if you don't want to hop at all, then heel lift. Or if that's not comfortable, just do some speed squats as fast as you can. Now I'm going to tell you in advance, our next exercise is on the floor. If you have any blood pressure issues and your heart rate is super high from these 2 minutes, stay on the floor. I'm sorry, stay up. And I'll show you how to modify. I'm going to go ahead and stop so I can show you. We're going to do Superman lifts for the last minute. Popping. We're going to do Superman lifts. If your heart rate, you got 30 seconds, your heart rate simmers down, you feel comfortable getting on the floor, we're going to go to the floor. And if not, you're going to stand up tall, And you're going to Superman lift back. You can add opposite arm and opposite leg. So that's where I want you to be if you're not comfortable on the floor, or if you have blood pressure issues and your heart rate is really elevated. All right. Superman lift. Woo. So we'll squeeze that back body. That's step one. And we add on upper for part two. So make sure you keep those elbows a little soft, no locked out arms. Keep your shoulders down, away from your ears. We're squeezing all through that back body to lift. We're not looking for a gigantic lift. We're not looking to take off. If your lift isn't as high as mine, no judgment. If you're lifting crazy high, that means you're not squeezing through that back body. Because it really should just be a squeeze and lift, a squeeze and lift. So if your arms and legs are coming way up and back, unless you are just something amazing, then you are probably not exactly squeezing in the right way. All right, guys, we got about 1:40. Really catch your breath. So think about what we've been doing. See where you need to make any adjustments. If you need to modify, is there another piece of equipment, a different band you need, something you can step on for your calf raises? Got a good bit of time to think about it. Whew. I'm gonna turn my text message notifications off and then check for any comments. Keep catching my breath. Man, oh man. Oh goodness. We are doing super good, guys. We got 2 more trips through. We're gonna try to make it. Looks like we're doing pretty good on time. So we got about 30 more seconds here. Keep catching your breath. We're gonna start back with those goblet squats, the walking lunge, the sumo squat, the alternating curtsies, and the wall sit. So that's 5 straight minutes of work. Hopefully your heart rate's coming down a little bit from that cardio burst for those 2 minutes. And it's a good feeling. It's nice too because it kind of keeps you burning through the break and keeps you from getting too cool during the break. Usually not a problem I have working out in the garage under hot lights and things like that. I don't really get cool too often. But if you're working out in like a super air conditioned living room, it could definitely happen. All right, so we've got goblet squat. So we go a little wider than our base. We've got toes pointed out, weight to our chest if you want it. Hips come back, we sink low, we stand. So remember this round, you can have a better idea of what we're doing, where we're going. So get started. You're gonna hear those timers, those bells, those whistles. You just get started as soon as you hear it. I will too, but sometimes it takes me a minute because I got a coach. So, just get started as soon as you can, once you hear that bell. And up next is going to be your walking lunge, if you have room to walk, or if not, you're alternating. So either you're alternating reverse lunge, or forward lunge, or take it for a walk. All right. You know, it's always so true, too. And the problems I was having, I keep looking down while I'm doing that. So I'm falling. I was literally have been sitting at a desk since 6 a.m. and maybe gotten up 3 times. 4 maybe, but nothing longer than to heat up heat up a lunch and to run the restroom. And so my back was screaming at me. My shoulder is too, I have no idea what that is, but my shoulder at least, I'm not really using today. So what a blessing, it's a lower body day. Sumo squat, guys. Heavy weight if you want to use it. And I was really debating. I was like, Charlie, I don't know. And he was like, I don't know either. You can barely stand. And I was like, you know, if it was upper body day, I probably would have had to back out or change what I was doing. Something's wonky over there. And I was like, you know, the lower back, I'm sitting. So I think I just need to move. So it may be kind of rough at first. Might not look as pretty as I want it to. So I think I just really need to move. And I was right. I'm not saying it's like walking through a field of daisies right now, but it's not bothering me at all. I can feel when I stop that something's like, hey girl, hey, I'm back here. But overall, so much better. So you gotta listen to your body, but also the more you listen to it, the more you learn, right? And every sign, almost every sign was screaming at me, alternating curtsy lunge. You know, you might want to rethink this. But I knew my body, and I knew what this problem likely was, and I thought, you know what, I should give it a shot, try some movement. So, I'm not saying that's always how you need to handle every pain that you have, but don't rule out moving sometimes when it comes to pains. Okay, guys, we got 15 seconds. Here we go to a wall set. 1 minute. All right, grab you a piece of wall. There we go. Always makes me crazy when my puzzle pieces are out of line. All right. So again, I like to kind of set my shoulders back, roll my tail down. That just keeps you, especially if you have a bigger booty, which I do not have. But if you have a bigger booty, sometimes it keeps you so far away from the wall, your lower back might actually hurt a little bit because your shoulders are back and your back's super arched. So trying to get that whole spine flat really makes a difference. It might make it feel a little harder, to be honest, a little TBH. Might make it a little harder, but it makes it better. 15 seconds, just under. Hang in there, guys. Can you sink a little lower for the last 10? Almost there. 3, 2, 1. Boom. All right, come on up. So now we go to our band work. Let's go ahead and start shaking your way into these fancy bands. So we've got our side steps. That'll be first. So just pick a direction, either left or right. You'll lead with that leg for 30 seconds. You'll lead with the other for 30 seconds. Speaking of, that's about how much break time we've got left here. Just as a reminder, I will go off screen, or my side steps will be about 2 each direction. So you will lose me briefly, but I will be back. I'm going to lead with my right leg first. So I'm going to go ahead and step over to the side, and we're getting started in 3, 2, 1. So actually I'll start back here. So one of the cues is to make sure that you're opening your whole leg. So don't open your foot and then roll that leg out. Whole leg opens up. Staying into whatever your low point is, and just opening legs to side step, closing them back up. All right, switch sides. New lead leg, whichever way you were going, just change it up. right, we've got 3, 2, 1, down to the floor. We've got mule kicks, or if you don't want to be on the floor, you can stay here and push back. That's your alternative. You don't want to come down to the floor. So if you're on the floor, hands and knees, flex those feet. Stomp on that ceiling. Like I said, pretend you've got ink on the bottom of your shoe and you're trying to imprint that sole of your shoe on the ceiling. Make sure you're staying tall, energetically pushing up through those hands. Don't let yourself collapse down into your shoulders. From here in 10 seconds, we've got fire hydrants. Really burning up that booty with this one. Perfect. All right, same pose. You're just gonna open up to the side. Just think about a doggy peeing on a fire hydrant. That's what you're looking at. You can alternate left and right, or do 2 or 3 on each side, whichever way you want to do it. Woo! I know I keep saying it, but next level with these bands. Sandy, I believe you may be here and watching. This band was a lovely gift from your daughter. She was my gym fairy. 10 seconds. And then we go to clam shells. We'll do 30 seconds on each side. All right. So let's lay down on our side. Stack those feet in line with your booty. Stay up tall. Squeeze up. So again, think about that whole cheek. Flex through that whole cheek, not just through your hip. Two and 1. Switch sides. Of course, you guys feel free to just roll over. I just prefer not to stick my whole butt right in the camera if I can help it. Almost there. All right, guys, that's your break. You can take these bands off. We've got about 35 seconds. We've got our deadlift, our calf raises, and our bridge lift. Woo! So remember for that deadlift, this is where you're going to want to grab 2 weights that you would consider heavy. Really the only place where I would say that weights are pretty much required. If you don't have them, that's fine. But if you do have some weights, you definitely want to grab them for this exercise. All right. Great. So we've got feet about hip width apart, shoulders back and down. Engage those hamstrings and booty by bending those knees. We set hips back, weight towards the back of that foot, and squeeze to stand. Weight shifts back, iron those pants down. Squeeze to stand. Again, this is my coaching to death exercise, so I'm trying to chill out and just let it be. Just really make sure that weight is towards the back of your feet. Then you know you're sort of moving in the right direction. Almost there. We're going to those calf raises. Perfect. So again, if you have a step, this is where you want to use that step. If not, Just stand. You can have a hand on the wall for balance if you need it. Squeeze up to the top. Weight's totally optional here. I just am taking the extra challenge since I don't have a step. Just a little added extra weight helps for a little more challenge. But I want you to really think about coming to your highest heels at the top. A lot of times we just get about here and we let it go. Highest heels, drop it down. Good. Obviously, if you're prone to cramping, please be aware. Take good care of those calves. Don't push them into the cramp zone. All right, we've got 5 seconds and we're coming down to the floor. Perfect. Drop that weight. We come down to the floor. We've got our bridge lift. So we lay flat, hips in line, with heels, weight towards the back of those feet. Squeeze that booty up. Core nice and flat, engaged. Pelvic floor, come and draw it in. Everything's activating, all from those glutes. Okay, you really shouldn't be feeling anything in the hand, in the quads. Everything's back in the back. Almost there, guys. Perfect. So we got a 30-second break. We've got our cardio blast coming up. So we've got our half burpee and our squat hops, or squat jumps, or squat heel lifts, whatever's floating your boat today. Whew. Got about 10 seconds. Catch your breath. I'll also show you the modified version of the half burpee. I did not take you there the first time, so I'll show you now. Whew. So modified version is to step back, step one foot back, step the other, and then step them up, lift. So that's your modification. Or if only this part's okay, but jumping up isn't okay, then jump back and step up. Come on. Again, we're trying to land lightly. Shouldn't sound like Godzilla attacking a small city when you jump. All right, squat hops. I know. I'm out of breath right here with you. So, got your squat jump, or a little hop, or heel raise, or speed squat, whatever you're feeling. So with your speed squat, just make sure you're not doing this. Still get a full squat in, okay? Stay in control of that breath. I know it's hard. This is more traditional cardio. So get breathy. Under 10 seconds. All right. Got a 30-second break. Got Superman lift. So if your heart rate's crazy high, if you have blood pressure issues, I want you to stay standing and alternate your lift. Otherwise, see you on the floor. So remember, guys, it's a small squeeze. Small squeeze. Where's those shoulders at? Really think about them. Drawing them down, away from your ears. Squeeze that booty. Engage through that back. Keep that head in line with the spine. Don't crank your head up. Keep it right in line with that spine. Awesome. Woo! We have got our break. We've got about 2 minutes. I may speed that up just a little bit, just to make sure we get through everything without running incredibly far over time. So catch your breath. Let's see if we can shave about a minute or so off. It won't save us a ton of time, but it'll help. Oh, that's my drink. I was like, oh my gosh, am I hearing my own sweat splatters on the ground? Would totally expect that, by the way. All right, guys, I'm going to check on the video. Hey, Jeffrey. I see you watching, Mr. Jalapeno Brady. Good to see you. Love you too. Not having one of my better workout days, so don't judge me too harshly today. It's good to see you. I see some other friends tuning in. Bill, I'm thinking Caroline's probably here. Sandy, so good to see you guys. All right, I'm gonna give it about 15 more seconds, and then we're gonna get started with that goblet squat. So go ahead and grab your weight and get yourself ready. Woo! All right, guys, we're gonna go in 3, 2, and 1. Let's work. Goblet squat, just a little further than those hips. Shoulders back and down. Sit back. Good. Make sure those knees are staying open, tracking the same direction as your toes. Not over your toes, tracking in that direction. Make sure you got that tail tucked. You're not duck butting out behind yourself. Good job, guys. Make sure you're breathing too. Whew. And that cardio gets me all sorts of winded. So it's important you keep breathing. Get that fresh air in. All right. We've got walking lunge. So if you've got space to move, move around, explore that space. Otherwise, keep it steady. Don't look down like I keep doing. And we're gonna step back. So you can either do a reverse lunge like this, which is generally the more comfortable for people with knee pain, or you can step forward like you would in a walking lunge. Totally your option, whatever feels comfortable. If you have no knee pain, you just like one more than the other, then do the one you hate. If it's for pain reasons, do the one you like. Whew. 10 seconds, guys. Then we've got that sumo squat. Grab a heavy weight. Awesome. All right, grab that heavy weight for your sumo squat if you're using it. And we go wide, wide, wide. Toes pointed really far away. Weight down to the middle. Tuck that tail. Drop that weight. Zipper those legs back up. Zip them up. Again, make sure you're touching the floor with that weight. Only if you can do it by keeping your chest tall and lifted. If you have to do this, don't do it. Just keep working to how low you can go with that chest up high. Hold that weight nice and close to the body. Knees open out to the sides. All right, alternating curtsy lunge. Woo-wee. All right, so just like a little princess, we're gonna curtsy out to the side. Arms totally optional. I just like to watch people do princess skirts. Hang in there, guys. Those legs might be getting tired. They might be sending you some stern messages. You just send messages right back. You tell them they can do this. That you are strong. Also, maybe send me the message, quit looking down at the floor. All right, we've got our wall sit. Whew. Bring it to that wall. Again, set shoulders back. Roll that spine down. And then have a seat. You can go to your happy place. Make this your moment of zen. Whatever it is you need. You are just about halfway there. Hang tough. You can smack those legs around. Give them a little massage. Whatever distracts you. Okay, just make sure you've got weight towards the back of your feet. You should be able to move those toes around so you don't want to be putting pressure out here. Heels down. We are just at 10 seconds. You can do it. After this, we've got our band work. Boom. All right. Got a nice little break here. Let's go ahead, get yourself another drink. Grab your bands. Woo-wee. All right. We'll grab our bands. May take a little abbreviation to this break, maybe not. At this point, I feel like what is 20 seconds shave off here or there really help. All right, so we've got our side steps. So remember, just pick one direction, stay that direction, and you're going to stay low. So we're not standing, squatting, we're staying low, just opening. All right? All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, and 1. Boom. No noise, just get going. Down, opening up wide, staying low. See, my head's not bobbing up and down. Remember, open that whole leg, guys, not just your foot. Open that whole leg. We don't lead with the foot and then let the knee follow. Whole leg opens. Switch sides. I'll see if I can get a few in front of the camera here. I'll turn. So again, whole leg open. Whole leg. Okay? Just the most common mistake I see is leading with that foot and then sort of dragging your knee behind you. And that's just asking for trouble. Cut in front of the camera again. 3. All right. We've got those alternating mule kicks. Let's bring it on down. Got our strong foundation. Flex those feet. Engage that core. Push up. So you'll notice too, guys, I'm not kicking my leg out. Staying at 90. Pushing. Think about a building with ceiling tiles. Imagine you're trying to stomp that ceiling tile up out of the frame. strong through those hands. Don't collapse down. Keep that gaze slightly out in front. All right, we've got fire hydrants. So, just like a little doggy, you're going to open that leg out to the side like you're giving it a little water. So again, you want to keep both hip points down towards the ground. So don't open by flaring open like that. Hips stay down. Just that leg opens out to the side. Woo. Booty is talking. Ooh, I hope I'm not alone. I hope it's not a one-sided conversation. 10 seconds, guys. Woo, all right. Clamshell, so come down to one side. Stack those feet and line up those hips strong through that shoulder. Open. Again, think about that whole cheek. In clamshell, we tend to just focus up here in this hip. Think down here, squeeze. It really changes the exercise when you think about it that way. Let's do one more. Spinning around. Ten seconds, guys. Again, whole cheek. Squeeze. Squeeze. Awesome. All right. That is your next break. You can come up. Shimmy that band off. Whew. I'm getting so sweaty, there's not much shimmying off anymore. All right, guys. So we have got our deadlift, so that's going to be our two heavy weights. So we're going to have our deadlift, our calf raises, our bridge lift. We've got our cardio burst, 1 minute Superman lifts. And we are all done. We've got about 9 minutes left on the clock. So if you can hang in there with me till 12 after. Didn't get started until probably almost 10 after, so we're still good on time as far as actual workout time. All right, so we've got our deadlift. Weights right in front. Bend those knees. Set hips back. Ironing those pants down. And then squeeze that booty to the top. Hips come back, 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 back. Squeeze to the top. If you're feeling pain in your lower back, think about where those weights are. A lot of times we bend out here and just let those weights dangle. Immediately, your lower back takes that slack. So instead, think hips come back. Weights stay close. Almost there, last one. Perfect. All right, calf raises. So go ahead, get on your step if you have it. If not, you'll be here with me. Just big tippy toes up, let them down. Big tippy toes up. Woo, almost cramped. Maybe not quite so big. You can definitely tell from the last couple days off I have that I have not drank enough water. One, cramp, and never is really a factor for me. Charlie and I joke all the time about how much more hydration focused we become, you know, like even if we're gonna have drinks, we're like, don't forget, stay hydrated. Did you buy the noon hydration tabs? It's very important. It's just such a key factor. We just start to learn, bridge lifts, guys, how much hydration contributes to how we feel. You know, like so many times that you might feel like garbage, but if you think about it, it's dehydration. You know, it's so funny. So think about that. If you ever have a day where you're just not feeling well, something's not quite right, think about how much water you drink. Good, guys, remember we're squeezing all through this back. So lift, lift, lift. Keeping that core tight. Weight towards the back of those feet. It's all about the booty and the hamstrings here. One more. Good. All right, bring it up. We've got our short break, and we've got our cardio burst, and our Superman lifts. And we will be all done. So a total of 3 minutes of work. You can totally do it, guys. You got this. Embrace the sweat. Embrace the sweat puddles that you're squeaking your own shoes in. All right, guys. So we've got those half burpees. So remember, you've got a couple modification levels. You can jump back, jump in, try to get those hands up as your feet are landing. That's your fullest version. Or you can step back, hop up, or step back, step up, wherever you want to be. And light steps. That'll help your joints as well. Lowering your impact tremendously. Having light steps. All right, we've got our squat hops for 1 minute. Whew. Need to catch your breath a little bit. You can start slow. You start modified and work your way back up. You can mix it up, do a few, then change it out. Always have the heel lift option. Make sure you're throwing some arms in to really get that cardio going, especially if you're not hopping. Throwing some arms in is a great way to get the heart rate elevated. Almost there. Woo! All right, 30 seconds. Catch your breath. Don't stop moving. We've got our Superman lift. Again, remember, your heart rate's high. Modify to the wall. Woo! I've officially reached sweating in my eyeball status. All right. All right, guys. So remember, little squeezes. Squeeze that booty. If you really want to focus on booty, take the upper body out. Just focus on that booty squeeze. This is a great way to see if you're really able to get those glutes to engage and fire up. If you feel like you can't lift your legs at all, we need to focus on some glute activation exercises. See what's happening while they're not firing. Because this is all booty right here. I've taken lower body out of my equation. Just focusing on that squeeze. Saved by the Bell, y'all. Wow, I am disgustingly sweaty. I gotta say, feeling pooped, but way better than I did when I started. Like I said, it's such an important message. I always talk about listen to your body, listen to your body. And a great example, like I said at the beginning of the class, was my shoulder. Whatever was happening here, I knew it was a no-go. If I had written an upper body class today, I would have canceled or would have changed it on the fly. Because whatever's happening here was really not a, I need to move it. I did some moving, did not help, hurt. So with my lower back, I knew it was from sitting for 12 hours and from all the things that come along with that. So movement was really what I needed more. When I did some moving before the class, I could tell it was easing up a little bit. So again, just listen. Listen to what your body's telling you. Pay attention, treat it well. You only get one, right? You only get one. So thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope your legs and your booty is very, very burned up, burned out, tired, ready for the showers, all of those things. So thank you so much for joining me. As always, please share these workouts. Share my page, subscribe, tell other people what you're doing. I know some of you guys out here working with me are doing amazing things. Brag on yourself. You should. It's incredible. So thank you. As always, any donations you'd like to send my way, for sweat towels are greatly appreciated. It's the only payment I receive for these classes, so it is sincerely, sincerely appreciated, and I thank you so much for joining me. Venmo @StrongStyleFit is where you'll find me for donations. Otherwise, I can't wait to see you again later in the week. I hope to have some great things planned for us, and I look forward to working out with you again soon. Thanks, guys. Take care.